Hello and welcome to the Why I Love series. I'm Bauer Tendo. Thank you again for stopping in. And in this episode, we're going to be going over a game that opened my eyes to video games as a whole new art. Shadow of the Colossus. Now, before jumping right into why I love this game, I wanted to go over a little bit about the story in the game, just to give an overview. So basically, you are this person, this guy that is no name, or at least at the beginning no name, and is showing up with a body, a dead body, on the back of a horse. And as you see here revealed, it's a young lady. And you start to understand that this man is bringing this young lady here because he is in love with her, and she died when she shouldn't have died. He's trying to bring her back to life, and he's working with this weird deity thing in this land to try to bring her back to life. And this deity, or power, whatever it is, says, you know what? I'll make you a deal. You go around this land and kill these giants that roam it, these colossi, and you will have the ability to bring her back to life. Now, of course, there's a price to pay, and there are twists and turns in the plot, and all of that fun stuff, which I won't reveal here, but it's a very entertaining story, very minimalistic, and it's one of the reasons why I actually love this game. This game really opened up my eyes to video games being an art form, and there were a few reasons why it did that. Now, up to this point, I'd played a lot of Mario Brothers, platformers, racing games, things that were really, really fun, really good games, but I never really, sat down and thought, wow, this video game is a form of art. And this was the first one. It really rattled me, and at first, when I first played this game, I actually didn't really like it all that much, because it felt empty. I expected a lot of jumping, twists and turns, all this stuff, and there really wasn't. It was more about the experience, I later found out. So there were a few things in this game that really solidified why this was a piece of art. The way that the story was told, the visual qualities, and the direction, the actual cinematography, I guess you would say, in this game, the videography, and the music in this game. All of these things came together to create a piece of art, a cohesive piece of artwork that you interacted with. And I didn't realize it at the time. It was much later that I realized, wow, this is pretty amazing that this game did this for me. Now, the first aspect of this game that I want to talk about, of why I love it so much, is the musical and audio quality in this game. The compositions and audio is just amazing. So there are moments like this. There's no music going on whatsoever. It's just wind, the lumbering steps of this giant beast just walking by that doesn't even care about you, doesn't even notice you're there. Then your little footsteps sneaking up, and as you get up to it, all of a sudden, oh, there's the music because you discovered something, right? And then once you, like this right here, once you take the next step, then the music takes the next step as well, and it starts to reflect the action in the game. Simply put, the music is just outstanding. Have a listen. Music is not only just incredibly well done, but just the way that they use it is so great, and it helps to create the feeling of grandiose wonder in this land. Like, these giants really do feel giant, and it feels like an adventure, like you're in this crazy adventure taking down these giant beasts that seems impossible. And that brings me to my next point of why I love this game, is the bigness of it. This game literally revolves around taking down bosses, essentially, if you look at it that way. You go from giant to giant to giant to giant. There's not really any dungeons or anything like that. There's the exploration of the land a little bit, sure, but it's basically the experience and the exhilaration of trying to figure out how to take these beasts down. And as you've seen, you see these crazy symbols pop up. And you're taking these beasts down by literally stabbing these symbols on their body. Otherwise, you couldn't take them out because they're giant rock beast things that are wandering the land that could stomp you with their feet. Not a big deal. And then at the end of every single time, there's this mystery surrounding this that feels big as well. Everything feels big. Everything feels important. Everything feels very dramatic in a great way. And every time that you take one of these things down, the penalty feels big. I mean, just the fact that each statue breaks one by one by one, it gives a sense of you're kind of tearing down the world a little bit. So is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Who knows? And the lands are just so cool. Like, there's not a whole lot in them, like wildlife, but they still feel like they were alive at one point. And there's this big mystery, this grandiose mystery. And the Colossi themselves, well, you know what? Just have a look at this and tell me that this thing isn't big. The tactfully placed music and the grandiose feel of the story and the way that it is told blend into the visual display in this game as well. As you've seen so far, the Colossi, the designs are just superb. They're so cool and they feel alive. They feel like these giant beasts that you can't take down. And then even just the little touches, like as you'll see here, he starts to shake his head because he knows, hey, you stabbed me in the head. I gotta move. I gotta do this. I gotta get you off of this. As you're climbing up, they shake. If they see you, you can whistle at them to get their attention. It just starts to all blend into one, the visuals, the music, and the story. Now, of course, as I played this the first time, I didn't think that. And even as I play this now, like, I don't sit there and analyze it and think, well, that was very well done. No, afterwards, I start to really think about it and think, why am I so attached to this person that hardly ever talks, doesn't really have a name, and is trying to save his own princess, right? Why should I care? Well, because all of these things come together to create a backstory, to create the development of this character, and to really show how this story unfolds. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but there is a penalty. This game is one of my all-time favorites, and I highly, highly recommend it. Choose any one of those aspects of the game that you think, oh man, that sounds awesome to me. But I'm telling you, they all come together to create one awesome game. And that is why I love Shadow of the Colossus. Thank you for stopping by, and see you next time.